Former Metropolitan cop befriends a guy who shot him in 1993. For the first time since 1993, a former Metropolitan Police officer and the man who shot him have formed an alliance to assist young people to escape the path of criminality. According to MyLondon, James Seymour now considers Leroy Smith, a former drug dealer and armed robber, a friend, and the two have even collaborated on a book, titled Out of the Box. Many young people in London, many of whom are at danger of sliding into the same violent milieu that brought these unlikely friends together over 2 decades ago, may relate to their tale. On Coldharbour Lane in Brixton's Atlantic Bar, Leroy opened fire on James, fatally wounding him in the back as the officer prepared to search him. Leroy reminds out that if he had intended to murder James, he would have shot him in the head. His gunshot did the trick. He had enough time to get away, knowing that he was sought for fleeing from Leicester Prison, where he had been imprisoned on firearms charges and had escaped during a transfer to Brixton Prison. Leroy left the nation first for Holland, then for New York, while James was hospitalized for the following 4 days. When he joined a Jamaican drug cartel, the FBI tracked him down, and he was extradited to the United Kingdom, where he was sentenced to a second stint in jail. James was taunted in court by waving a fake pistol at him at the moment, and he seemed to be everything but remorseful. During his time in jail, he also stabbed others and was stabbed himself. Leroy's attitude on life was modified after he served his time, however, by his then partner. When James was a young man in the same situation as he was, he decided to write a book about his experiences, hoping that it would serve as an inspiration to others in the same situation. There was a sudden invitation to meet up with James. The victim support organization had been following Leroy's life, and James decided to read his autobiography, which recounted his childhood in 1980s Brixton after the death of his mother when he was 2 years old. "It was a long time coming for me," he said of his desire to meet Leroy in person. Bitterness is the opposite of hate. When Leroy initially heard about the meeting, he was skeptical and worried that it was a scheme to get vengeance on him. As nervous as James had been in the days leading up to the odd reunion, he now sees that his choice to meet with the guy who shot him was the right one. When James and Leroy met face to face, Leroy quickly apologized and expressed gratitude for the new life he's embarking on.